Good afternoon. Welcome to the Corporate Services Committee meeting of November the 6th. It's now just after 12 a.m. p.m. I'd like to call the meeting to order. And first, I'd like to read the land acknowledgement. Grimsby is situated on treaty land. This land is steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Hattamarandarok, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. There are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. The regional municipality of Niagara and Grimsby stands with all Indigenous people, past and present, in promoting the wise stewardship of the lands in which we live. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. Okay, now I need a approval of the agenda. I need a mover. Councillor Howe. Councillor Vardy. I don't have a pen.
It's okay, I got it.
Yeah, okay. Resolved that the agenda for the November 6, 2023 Corporate Services Committee meeting be approved. All in favor? Received. Sorry. Resolved that the agenda for the November 6, 2023 Corporate Services Committee meeting be...
Oh, no, sorry, I was thinking minutes.
I was right the first time. Approved. Carried. Okay, and now I'm looking for a receipt. So the Corporate Services, receipt of the previous minutes. Starting with the Corporate Services, can I please get a mover and a seconder to receive the minutes from September the 5th? Councillor Howe? Councillor Vardy? There's only two of you. Resolved that the Corporate Services Committee minutes of September 5, 2023 be received. All in favor? Carried. Now we move into item 5.2, which is the Grimsby Downtown Improvement Area minutes. We have the receipt of the previous minutes from the DIA meetings. Can I please get a mover and a seconder to receive the DIA minutes for this year to date? Councillor Vardy. And Councillor Howe. I have a funny feeling that you'll be approving everything. Okay, resolved that the following DIA minutes be received. January 25, 2023, February the 8th, 2023, March the 1st, 2023, April the 5th, 2023, May 3rd, 2023, June 7th, 2023, July the 5th, 2023, August the 2nd, 2023, September the 13th, 2023, and October the 2nd, 2023, which was a special meeting. All in favor? Councillor Howe.
Oh, her hand's up.
Councillor Vardy. I can only see the back of your head. Resolve that the following meetings from the Joint Accessory Advisory Committee be received. March 9th, 2023, May 11th, 2023, July the 13th, 2023. Doesn't say that on here. Oh, we do. Okay, sorry. We need a seconder, mover and a seconder. Down now. Councillor Vardy. Okay, thank you. Resolved that the following minutes from the Joint Accessible Advisory Committee be received. March 9, 2023, May 11, 2023, and July 13, 2023. All in favor? Carried. You're zipping right through these.
Yeah, I know. Fire next.
Okay, item 5.4, Joint Fire Services Advisory Committee of March 9, 2023. We need the minutes from the March 9th. Can I please get a mover and a seconder to receive the minutes? Councillor Vardy, moved, seconded by Councillor Howe. Thank you. Resolved that the minutes from the Joint Fire Services Advisory Committee meeting of March 9th, 2023 be received. All in favor? Carried. Should we take a coffee break? Do you want to take a coffee break now? Okay, item 6, there are no delegations. Item 7, there are no consent reports. Item 8, there are no discussion reports. However, I think we do have some verbal updates from ITSI on the wire services. So, Philip, would you like to start us off?
Through the chair, thank you. I just want to provide the committee with an update on an issue that you had raised earlier this year, specifically the wireless service in town. We have investigated and found very poor cellular coverage in different areas of the town, including the areas acknowledged by the committee, which first one being around the West Lincoln Memorial Hospital, and the second being here in the West End around Town Hall. These addresses were provided to the carriers for them to investigate, and they have found poor quality, poor cellular coverage. Bell has applied for and will be building a new tower in the West End, and Rogers is looking to strike a deal with a private landowner that the town has put him in contact with. So these are both medium and long-term solutions. There's no short-term resolution here. To assist the community, one thing that the town has done, ITSI has built a brand new wireless infrastructure at the Peach King Center. So at least even though you have poor cell coverage, you now have a state-of-the-art wireless network there, very high speed, and it has the capacity to service a full arena. And actually, it's a bit oversized. So I just wanted the committee to know, using the funds that were put forth in the budget by council for 2023, we have made those improvements to at least help in the short term. Thank you.
Questions? No questions, no comments? Okay. Councilor Vardy.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. When you said a sort of a longer-term solution, can you define that a little more for me? I mean, we're talking a year, 6 months, 5 years?
There are a lot of permittings and agreements that have to be struck. I know the Bell one in the West End is a lot closer. It's only, my best estimate would be 12 months to a year and a half. The Rogers one could be 3 to 5 years.
And Philip, I mean, this tower is going in the West End, close to the new hospital. So is that where I know that, in East End, sorry. So I know that's near where I live, and I mean, I have problems all the time, and I'll tell you about that. How about the West End? Is there an issue in the West End as well, or is it just the East End that has the problem? Because I seem to have drop calls, doesn't matter where I go within Grimsby, if it's on the escarpment or down below the escarpment, the East End, West End, and it seems to be pretty much across the whole town. Can you qualify that?
Thank you, through the chair. Yes, generally, you're absolutely correct. Through our own investigation, we measured cell signal strength. There's tools you can download to measure the signal strength. We measured them, and I didn't find a good signal in town. I think the root cause is that the towers that are servicing Grimsby residents are overloaded. So we need to build infrastructure, cellular infrastructure. I would concur with your comments, generally all over town.
Just to follow on, I mean, I'll just leave this with you. I know, I've received complaints through the Economic Development Committee from businesses who are experiencing these kinds of issues. And I mean, it's obviously important for everyone, I mean, to be able to be in touch with the rest of the world through their cellular phones, where we all seem to be attached to them. But from businesses themselves, I mean, they are getting quite frustrated. So I don't know if some type of push from the business community would help you move things along, or help you move Bell or Rogers along a little faster. I mean, I guess I know it takes time to build a tower, but it is a big issue, and it's an issue that I hear quite frequently. So, and it must be very difficult to do businesses when you keep having a call dropped, which happens quite frequently. I know that for sure.
Through the chair, I would strongly suggest that any business or even individual who's experiencing these problems, I would suggest they put in a trouble ticket with Bell or Rogers. I have put in 3 trouble tickets this year, and each time they open an investigation. So, if we can get numbers behind us and, get 100 people calling or 1,000 people calling, we may get some short-term relief. That would be my suggestion.
Thank you, Philip. Any other questions, comments? Okay. I need a mover and a seconder to receive the verbal updates. I guess that's going to be Councillor Vardy and Councillor Howe. Thank you very much. Resolve that the following verbal updates be received. The ITSI wireless service. You can do cyber security separately? Did you want to do that?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Because they're both on the same resolution here.
Through the chair, yes, this is just a quick little update. It's interim, and there's nothing final here, but I did want this committee to know, and eventually it will be part of budget consideration potentially, but that the town is looking to apply for third-party insurance from a cybersecurity perspective. So this insurance would kick in if we had a major cyber attack, and we had to spend, typically you can easily spend hundreds of thousands of dollars within a matter of days, just in response to a major incident. So we'd have insurance to cover some of those costs. I would be looking to incorporate the quote we get from the process that's going to happen over the next month into the 2024 budget for your consideration. There are other options. I would bring them forward to committee depending on the number we get back on the cost. I may recommend other options for the committee's consideration, but that would be a formal report. I just want to give you this update saying that I'm traveling down this road. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Questions? Councillor Howe.
Thank you, through you, Chair. Is there strength in numbers? I guess, is there piggybacking we could do, for instance, I think of the region, let's say, to be a service provider, and I'm thinking of insurance, because I would have to think that it's like me with having a few extra cars, that you're supposed to be able to get a little bit of a bonus, but, wherever you can, and strengthen numbers, I guess. Is there any possibility of that, Philip?
Through you, Chair, absolutely, those are possibilities. What my approach was going to be is to start with what is the number, and then I can look into how we, if the cost is smaller, everybody's network infrastructure is different. Let's say we may have less controls or more controls than the region, and our number might be very different based on their assessment of our cybersecurity posture. I can tell the committee that in 2023, we've taken major steps forward in enhancing our security based on the third-party audit that we had. Somebody came in here, pointed out all the good things and some of the things we needed to shore up. We've done a lot of those, so I think we're going to do very well as far as qualifying, but I don't know what that number is. If the committee wants a number, we're talking about $75,000 ballpark for 1 year's worth of insurance, and then the companies, some of them have been known to waive the first $300,000 you have to pay, and they'll cover costs above that. So there's some sneaky things that can be done to cover themselves, because this can get very expensive very quickly. I do have some options in my head, including the first one is we're going to be leveraging our existing insurance provider. I think they're called Verge. So they do insurance for the town in other areas. We're going to add a rider on for cybersecurity potentially. But there's 2 or 3 different options, including partnering. So thank you for that suggestion.
Any other questions? No. Seeing none. Resolve that the following verbal updates be received. ITSI wireless service, ITSI cybersecurity insurance. All in favor? Carried. Okay, item 10 is correspondence. Moving to correspondence, we have a verbal update regarding correspondence from the City of Hamilton on 3/11. Can I please get a mover and a seconder to get the item on the floor? Councillor Vardy, Councillor Howe. Over to you, Philip.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair, for the acknowledgement. Through you, the City of Hamilton, required by the CRTC, has notified us that they're implementing a 311 service. 311 service is kind of like 411, but when you dial 311, you reach your municipality. So in Hamilton, they have a big contact center with like 30 or 40 agents. When they've implemented 311, anybody in the city of Hamilton that dials 311 gets automatically routed to that number. It's just another way to reach the municipality. Some cities and regions have it, some don't. Grimsby does not. I don't believe Niagara Region does. So why is this an issue? This is an issue because of the first item I updated the committee on. Because of the state of wireless infrastructure in Grimsby, any residents in the West End ping off of the Winona Tower. So it's a tower inside the city of Hamilton. So if one of our Grimsby residents dials 311 and they live in West Grimsby, they're going to get routed to the city of Hamilton. So I've been in contact with the city. We're going back and forth. Katie's helped me out a bit on this as well, so thank you, Katie. What we're doing is we're implementing a process at their contact center so that if a Grimsby resident lands there, they can route them back to our main number, reception number. There's a tricky part here, and the tricky part is the Grimsby resident may want regional service. So Katie and I work to develop a list of services that Grimsby offers, and if it's not on that list, they're to redirect the resident to region's contact. So the city of Hamilton has to work with the area municipalities on all these processes because anybody dialing 311 from a cell phone, not a landline, but from a cell phone will be routed there. That's the issue. There is no date for implementation on 311 as of this morning. I got an email, still no date. So this could be 6 months out, could be a year out. They have to work through all their processes. Thank you.
Just curious, why would someone in Grimsby dial 311?
Actually, a very good question. There's a lot of movement due to the housing situation in Southern Ontario. So if I come from the city of Toronto, for example, I know to get to my municipality, I dial 311. So I think it's probably like transplant. New residents would have that knowledge. Like existing ones don't. And the town of Grimsby is not planning to implement the 311, so we're not advertising it. But I would say new residents may dial 311.
So let me understand. So do other municipalities have something similar?
Through you, Chair, I do know that there are a number of municipalities that have a 311 service. I believe Halton does, Burlington does. There are a number of them.
So how does the telephone exchange manage that? I mean, if I'm in Hamilton and I dial 311, could I end up in Brampton, for example, or, you know what I mean, or another municipality? I mean, if they're all using the same number, I don't know.
You're 100% right.
I'm trying to figure this one out.
That's very astute. They do have this whole process they have to work through with Bell on this. So that's part of why this takes so long. And this is in the telecommunications regulated by the CRTC 311. So you're right, it's through the phone lines and they're automatically routed. I think it's Bell that does it on the back end.
I don't think it's very well thought out, to be honest with you. Anyway, okay. Thank you for your update. No? All in favor? Thank you. Any other business pertaining to this committee? None? See none? All right, next meeting is on December the 4th, 2023 at 12 p.m. Thank you for your time, and meeting is adjourned.